What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers signed Dennis Schroder yesterday, and look, it was quite an interesting signing to say the least. Now, I think it is a really great signing. I think if Dennis Schroder is somebody that can come in, be humble, accept whatever role it is, if he has to have a DMP, if he, can come off the bench, if he starts, whatever the result is, if he can come in and play his part, play his role, be a key component to this team, I think this is an excellent signing, right? Low risk, high reward type signing. He was great in Germany. That's what caused a lot of teams to have some interest, but he really wanted to go back to the Lakers based on reports because he wanted to kind of rectify his mistake, what he did, which sounds like somebody that has been humbled and is willing to accept that. And I think that that's a wonderful thing. Now, if he's Dennis Schroder that comes in or at some point is like, I'm that dude, I want to start, the Dennis Schroder of prior with the Lakers, then no, keep that guy as far away from the team as possible. But with Dennis Schroder brings the question of like, what is going to happen now with the point guard play, right? Because first off, you have LeBron James, and even Darvin Ham said, as long as LeBron's on the court, the ball's in his hands. And you have Russell Westbrook, Austin Reeves. There's been a lot of talks from him about how the Lakers have plans to kind of put the ball in his hands some more and kind of let him have point guard duties. You have Patrick Beverley, right? You have Kendrick Nunn. You have all these guys. You have Walker. I mean, you have like 6-7 guys that could all play the point guard position. So what is going to happen? Well, we got reports that they are going to have some sort of competition, right? Now, Patrick Beverley, Russell Westbrook, they were originally the idea of them starting, that one of these two would start. But here's the thing, is that there are conflicting reports. You have the, Sam and Jovan report that says, that these guys are basically fighting for a starting spot. And then you have Austin Reeves and you have Walker, both kind of competing for that shooting guard position, right? So you have this competition that Russ is being highly or strongly considered to be coming off the bench, but he's going to have to earn his starting role. And I have no problem with that. I think that that is great. I think having Russ come in, having to compete with these guys, having to have some of that competition may really light a fire under him. Having a Dennis Schroder who can come off, it's insurance for us. Russ, you don't want to set the screens. Russ, you don't want to play the defense. Russ, you don't want to do this assignment. Okay, tell you what, sit down and we'll put in Dennis Schroder. Or sit down, put in a Patrick Beverley. They have options, and I think that that is the key. Darvin Ham also has the green light, and he said, I will make whatever tough decision comes to this roster. He has the luxury that Frank Vogel didn't have, which is he's under contract long before Russ will be here. Russ leaves at the end of this year one way or another. But Russ also seems willing to buy in. And Russ is a competitor. He's going to want to contribute. But I don't think this is so much about making Russ come off the bench or so much so like him really having to compete for a spot. Because look, let's be honest. Russell Westbrook, I think Russ ends up getting traded, if I'm being honest. But even if he does stay, he's not coming off the bench. Like, let's be honest. At least not in the beginning. Maybe if things aren't working out or it's kind of rough, then yeah, maybe I could see Darvin Ham kind of trying to switch some stuff up and Russ being the guy that has to sacrifice, come off the bench. I think Russ off the bench would be fantastic. I think that would be perfect. Like, that's what you want. Russ being that sixth man, to be the first time he came off the bench since his rookie year. Like, I think that would be great for the Lakers. I think that would be great for this team. You could put him against the bench units of other teams. Good luck. Good luck trying to stop Russ. But that's not what this is. They're not going to bench Russ. Darvin Ham has been way too high on Russ, has talked Russ up so much, has already said he's going to start. Him and Russ are attached at the hip, and the two of them, are inseparable. Like, they seem like they're, a buddy comedy almost. You see them everywhere together. Russ seems to be buying in. Russ is going to the pressers, this, that, and the other. But this, to me, is more of like they're trying to reignite Russell Westbrook if he's still on this roster. I still, again, think that a trade happens. I still think Russ is gone, and I think Utah is the most likely scenario. But I don't think they're really going to bring Russ off the bench, at least not in the beginning. 20 games in, it's not working out. I could see that. I could see them, hey, Russ, you're going to have to come off the bench, man. We need to switch something up. We need to change something up. Okay, fine. But I just think Darvin Ham he's going to want to keep that relationship with Russ, at least in the beginning, and he's going to have him start and kind of see what he can work with, see what he can do, do different lineups, things like that. I don't think that he's really going to come off the bench. Now, the other thing, because I said that there were conflicting reports, right? You had the Jovan and you had the Jovan and Sam report, but you also had Mark Stein saying that no, they're not that they are competing, but it's not that you have Walker and Reeves fighting for the 2 spot. No. You have 4 point guards. 2 of those are going to play the shooting guard. 2 of those are going to be the point guard. And then very likely Reeves and Walker are going to be fighting for the 3 spot. So, yes, I guess that could make sense. So, maybe you have like a Russ and Beverly or a Russ and Nunn, something like that. And then you have a Schroder and Beverly coming off the bench. That I think could end up happening. And I'm not completely against that at all. I think if that's the case, I think personally, as much as I love Nunn and as much as I would love to see Nunn, I think you need Patrick Beverly in that starting lineup. Now, I think depending on certain matchups, although I really do love Nunn and I do love what he brings to the table if healthy, but I think that those 4 fighting for the 1 and 2 spot, I think makes more sense. And then Reeves and Walker are fighting for the 3 spot, and their size makes more sense. Now, Austin Reeves is 6'5", but Walker is 6'4". However, he has a 6'10" wingspan. And I think that that's very key too, because he has the length to guard most threes in the league. And I think I think what Mark Stein's saying makes more sense. But again, it doesn't add up. It just doesn't make sense. You don't need all 3 of these guys. If you trade Russ, then that basically frees up 3 spots, right? You only have 3 people competing, right? And you could start Dennis Schroder, Patrick Beverly, LeBron at the 3, Davis at the 4, and then Thomas Bryant at the 5. Perfect. I think that is a very well-balanced lineup. I think that is great defensively. You got some shooting. You got some slashing. You got the big man combo. You got LeBron being LeBron. He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. And even if he does play on the ball, you have 2 guards that you can run different schemes and different sets. I think that works perfectly. Nunn. He's your backup point guard. Locked in, understood, awesome. You have Austin Reeves or Walker play the 2, and you're off to the races. I just think that is the best approach. And then, you still have that depth. Plus, you're going to end up getting like a Bogdanovich or something like that. I would imagine some wing or like a Cam Reddish, something like that. Now, maybe you just do a simple swap. Maybe it's just Kendrick Nunn for Cam Reddish, right? Maybe you do a trade like that. And so then you have let's say Russ and Beverly. And then you have, Schroder coming off the bench with like an Austin Reeves and a Walker, something like that. I could see that happening. Cam Reddish, that could kind of be the bench unit. I don't buy the whole Russ is coming off they're strongly considering bringing Russ off the bench. I think this is just, I think this is to light a fire under Russ. I think that this is just, hey, we want you to compete. We want you to buy in. We want you to do what you're necessary. We went and got guys that can buy in and do what they need to do and that they can take your spot. I think this is just to add pressure to Russ to kind of, fall in line, if I'm being honest. And I don't think it's really going to work. I think Russ has the potential to be great this season with Darvin Ham, but I think establishing him as the point guard and just running it that way, and then, assuming you don't trade him, I think that that's the best way, because you want Russ bought in. You want Russ willing to do whatever it takes. I mean, he's not stupid. You bring in Dennis Schroder, he knows, like, all right, they got somebody here that if I'm not doing what I need to do, they'll put this guy in. You know, he can come in and he'll do it, and then he'll get the spot. I don't think you need to like publicly say like, hey, you know, if Russ isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing, then, you know, he's going to have to earn a starting spot. And I also think that part of this is just the generic, like, no starters guarantee. You know, Darvin Ham was talking about LeBron and Davis and everybody. Like, everyone's going to have to earn their spot. Come on. LeBron, you're not starting anybody over LeBron. You're not starting anybody over Davis. Let's slow our roll. I understand. And look, I am huge on Darvin Ham. Huge. I am one of his biggest supporters. I have been huge on him. But, you know, a lot of the stuff he says, he's just saying in the spirit of competition, you know, pandering to the audience, so to speak, stuff like that. And that's what I kind of think this is. I think all the news, all the information, the whole thing with Darvin Ham, I'll make the tough decision. I do think he will if it comes to it, but he's not going to make that right away. I think that they at least try Russ if he's on the roster and see what they have, see what he can do, see what he's capable of. At least it's my thoughts and opinions, and that's why this is a discussion. So I pass the question on to you. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you think, like, yeah, this is just them trying to, you know, have the fans, oh, look, Russ could come off the bench, you know, like, yay. But in reality, no, he's going to start. I don't see a scenario where he doesn't start, at least the beginning. You know, like I said, 20 games in, something like that, I could see them changing stuff up if it's not working. You know, like if the Lakers are, you know, 5-15, it's like, okay, it's time to switch something up, you know. But again, however you feel about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me know down in the comment section. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, you know, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.